Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Works Every Time podcast. I'm your host, Markus Oland, here with
Justin Essenmacher.
And
Philip Garcia.
We have an absolutely awesome guest today. Everybody give it up for
Rachel Wolfson.
Hell yeah. We had a great episode today. We want to give a shout out to the Sunset Strip for letting us record here. Make sure you check out a show. You might see any one of us on it. So check those out. Like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify. We've got video on Spotify as well if you want to check that out and make us the #1 podcast.
The
on
number
Apple.
one.
Plugs. We've got the Green Room. We're going to be at the Green Room in Austin Friday, November 29th. We're also going to be there December 21st for a live podcast as well. And we got a live podcast coming up at the Sunset Strip January 25th. More details coming up by that. That's going to be sponsored by TEJAS TONIC. Check out the Instagram. Check out our Instagrams, Rachel as well.
At Rachel Wolfson on Instagram, at Wolfie Comedy on Twitter. You can find my shows at rachelwolfsoncomedy.com. And I'll be in Hawaii next week. I don't know when this comes out. I'll
come
be
out Monday.
Okay. I'll be in San Diego in January. I'll be in Arizona also in January. I got Houston at some point coming up. I got Miami and Tampa and possibly Naples coming up. So
Hell yeah, that's the most dates that's ever been listed on the show.
Hell yeah.
you guys just go to my website and check it out.
Yeah.
You'll see if I'm coming to a place near you.
Go
Go
check
see
out
Rachel.
Rachel on the road. We had a great episode this week. We talked a little bit about ADHD. We talked about weed in Ireland. And obviously, we talked about Jackass. So thanks for watching. Enjoy the episode, everybody.
Is it Kubrick film?
They're having a UAP hearing right now in with I think it's Congress or some
UAP?
unidentified aerial.
Phenomenon.
It's what people who know call UFOs.
Really?
Yeah. It's like the they them of alien. Can't.
Ah, it's
It
non-binary.
is that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. They changed UFO to UAP for more inclusion.
Yeah.
That's actually really, I never thought about it like
super
that.
funny.
Yeah.
They had to make UFOs inclusive.
Well, you know, there's like smaller UFOs
Yeah.
and stuff. You
Well, we didn't want to objectify them any
We don't know
longer.
if they them exist, but we do know.
we know
We
they
are
are
not
out
alone.
there, though.
We, us, are
Yeah.
not alone.
Yeah.
Us
I think-
versus them.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
They have Starbucks employees up there.
Dude. Yeah.
I
Up
do hope-
where?
up on the
Space.
moon.
There.
I just hope that
They probably are going to have a Starbucks. As soon as we get into space on Mars, the first thing is going to be a Starbucks. Stars.
Starbucks.
Hey.
Stars bucks. You're crushing it. Like two
I'm
punchlines,
out
dude.
here.
All right.
Oh
The
man.
cameras are everything's rolling.
Starbucks on the moon.
And then Rachel, just
Yeah,
make sure
where
you're
are you
talking into the
basically?
mic. Liz.
Hello.
There you go. I can hear you now. There you go. She was. She was far.
So there are.
I can hear everybody. I'm sorry.
You can hear everything.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
forgot
and
you're-
everybody
you're
sounds
plugged
good.
in. Good.
So I
Yeah,
don't know
so
how
everybody-
familiar you are with the pod, but there are some rules.
Uh-huh.
So it's basically no Austin comedy because no one really cares.
What do you
Right.
mean?
Like the local talking, getting too into the minutia and politics of like
Oh,
local Austin
yeah,
comedy.
fuck
No one
that.
really cares.
Yeah,
we are
we
going to
just-
break that
yeah.
rule a little bit, though, towards the end.
It says
Probably,
except for
yeah.
money. That's just like if there's any promo or anything like
Got
that.
it.
Number 2, we don't hate women.
Speak for yourselves.
That's nice.
Yeah,
we
you're
don't
told.
hate women.
We don't
Yeah.
hate women.
because we don't hate women.
Because we don't hate women,
We
right?
love women.
Yeah,
We
we
love
love
and that's
women.
why we all number 2C. We don't say the C word because also apparently that's bad for YouTube.
Oh no.
But also because
we don't
don't
hate
hate
I was
women. Yeah, that's the
also-
main reason.
I was
you're
about
allowed to break
say.
those two rules. I don't give a
I don't
like.
want to. I don't want to get demonetized or get you guys.
We're not
demonetized.
monetized.
Oh, we're
Oh.
so monetized. Yeah,
Well,
make
that-
sure you
in
watch
that
those
case.
words. Make sure you watch those words, please.
The third rule is kind of the most important. If you get too negative, you have to say something positive.
Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
mainly because me and Justin get too negative and then
Yeah.
we get mad.
And Phil's actually, if you didn't know, Phil's our mediator of the podcast, who's supposed to influence or
He's
These
supposed to.
rules.
He's supposed to implement these, but
Implement.
he just
Make
kind of
sure
sits
they
over
don't
there
get too
sometimes
mad at
and-
each other. But yeah, I'd mostly just sit here
Okay,
and kind
now
of.
I'm getting negative about Phil.
Yeah.
Phil actually sometimes does his job, and he has a key to the building, so that's huge.
Yeah.
huge.
And then number
Well,
4
I'm
is
really
be
here.
funny, because that's kind of a goal. And then 5 is just have fun respectfully.
Respect.
Kind of number 3. I don't know. That one used to be don't do edibles on the podcast.
I
but
would like to have fun disrespectfully.
welcome
That's
to the podcast.
good. Yeah, you could do it.
There you
Yeah,
go.
really, it's whatever
Yeah.
you want.
Rules
Yeah.
are off the table this episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
No rules.
No rules.
No rules?
We're going Little
Let's
Caesars.
break the rules.
Vegas
All right.
style.
Let's break the rules. Let's
Yeah.
bust out the joints, the bongs.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the C
cocaine.
word. Bust
Yeah.
out the.
Yeah, bust those out too.
Bust out this cigarette. Someone say the C word.
C
Yeah.
word? Oh,
No, don't say it. I'm just saying in the idea of us breaking rules. But
breaking rules.
yeah, so that's basically that. Welcome to the
to Works Every Time
Yes,
podcast.
welcome.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys.
You quit smoking weed.
Yeah.
That's the scariest thing to me.
Yeah.
What is that
literally.
like?
Well,
What is it like? Why did you do it?
good
One at a
question,
time.
you guys. I quit smoking weed. Well, I felt like I had beat the game of smoking weed. Like I
Damn.
met the final boss, Snoop Dogg, and I was like, maybe it's time for me as a 37-year-old woman. Not that age matters, but I just felt like I felt like the weed the best way to describe it is I love weed. I still love weed, but I just feel like the weed stopped loving me back
Oh,
in a
shit.
way. It was like
Makes
a
sense.
bad breakup.
Really?
But I still love it. Like I wish it well. I hope it,
Is this like a love letter.
You
to
let,
me?
you let it take the dog on the
basically.
weekends when you go on
yeah,
vacation.
it's not weed, it's me.
I never thought
It's
of it
not
this
you,
way.
it's weed. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I for me, I just it wasn't helping my stand up and my writing, and my mental health was starting to be affected, which I know for a long time it did help with my mental health, but at this point, I was having like obsessive thoughts, suicidal ideation, not to get too
You gotta say
real.
something
Exactly, I was
positive
gonna
now.
say.
Yeah,
I was gonna
probably.
say my third was and I feel like I'm much happier and clear-headed now. So
Alright.
That makes sense to be. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
It could only make sense to us guys.
yeah,
I don't think we could ever actually speak from practicum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quit once. I quit for like 6 months.
oh really?
Really?
Yeah.
What were you like?
It was actually really bad.
Drunk?
I was like going to GNC, the pharmacy, because I thought I was going to get a drug test. So I would go to GNC and just try to get stuff that would get me remotely high. And just some guy in a collared shirt would be like, these are good for anxiety.
Yeah, it's way more harmful than you.
Well, yeah,
whatever's
and then I
at
would take the shit
GNC.
from GNC and go snort it and then go drinking and fucking black out at the bar.
You're snorting protein. GNC sells protein powder. I don't
but
understand
they
what you're
sell-
going
I
in
don't
there and
know
being
what I
like,
was
get me
snorting.
high
I
off
don't know
what?
I
Oh,
was
was it? Were you
snorting.
doing that vitamin B or with the stuff they replaced
know,
cocaine
man.
with in the movies?
I don't know.
That stuff's wild. I've
He
tried
doesn't
it.
know. He just wanted to feel
See,
something.
quitting
Yes.
weed made me a better person, but it made Marcus worse.
It made no. I maintain because I quit drinking, and drinking was the worst thing for me, and that kind of ruined my life.
Yeah.
In different forms, and weed was the first thing that ever made me look at alcohol and be like, I don't need to get blacked out drunk tonight.
Right.
'Cause I used to get. I remember there was a stretch literally 10 days in a row, every day blacking out, waking up, drinking for 10 days straight,
Mhm.
which isn't bad for some people. I don't know. It's bad for everybody,
You
but
said
there's
10 days straight blacking out?
yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some alcoholics who are like, that's it. But that's, it was rough. And that was just one stretch in 9 years of being an alcoholic. But weed was the first thing that helped me be like, hey man, maybe don't. And then when I quit drinking, it was weed and non-alcoholic beer that helped me do that. So yeah. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
different strokes,
Yeah. Different smokes for different.
There you
folks.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you-
Different tokes for different.
But
folks.
you drink, but you're not an alcoholic.
no,
I've never seen you drunk.
Oh no, I now that I hate to say it, now that I'm not smoking, I'm definitely drinking more, but I'm yet a 1 at 2 at the most
Mm.
drinker, if that makes sense.
One or two
I don't really
drinks?
like to get drunk.
Really?
I'll just do a buzz,
Yeah. You don't like
So-
getting just sloppy shit house.
No, I'm too old for that.
Oh, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, I
You know
like
what
to
I
do.
mean?
If I get a sip of it, it's like the primer, dude, and then I gotta go.
You
I
know
gotta
when you
go.
see someone who's too old to be acting that way, and
Yeah.
you don't want to be around that. I'm sure they're fun at parties for
Yeah.
5
Have you met
seconds.
Justin?
Ah,
Sorry.
no,
What
you
the
know what I
fuck,
mean.
dude?
It's just it's for it. We're
I'm
not.
fine.
I'm not in college anymore, so I
Right.
can't
That's true.
Dog,
I just
know.
feel like, it's not a good look for me.
Yeah. I've slowed down a little bit. I've slowed down compared to what I used to do. And I think, I've gotten older. Just
Yeah,
like
now you're
she's
just
saying.
doing the speed
Did you
limit.
slow down
Yes.
or are you just slow?
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
No, you're doing the right thing.
I'm just
Works
kidding.
every time.
You say
I'm
something mean
pretty
about
slow.
Justin, you don't have to say anything
No,
nice.
that was
fucked
the
up.
6th rule.
Wait,
I didn't even know there was a 6th rule.
If you say something mean about Justin, you don't have to say anything nice.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, just take her
Justin
aside.
is very funny at my improv mic.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, he is.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
And you're welcome
He is.
anytime.
He is a very. You are a very. Sorry, I'll look at you and say it.
Thank you.
I don't want to look that close. You're
That is
fucking. Yeah, you're good at improving and
Oh,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
also Banana Phone. Killer at Banana
yeah.
Phone.
Justin's
Oh,
just good
yeah.
at being mean on the spot.
I love that.
He's
and he's
a-
so nice seemingly.
I am. I
And I
am a
think
nice
that's-
person.
I think that's why it hits so hard because when he says it, it's like, ooh.
because
He
I've been
means
holding it in
Yeah.
my back
He's very
pocket.
honest about
It's
it.
Yes.
cathartic for him to go
Yeah.
to Banana Phone. He'll call me afterwards, and he's like breathing heavy. He's like, "Hey man, what are you up to?" I'm like, "Did you get done with Banana Phone?"
Yeah,
and
he-
he's like,
It's like he
Justin-
ran
Yeah.
2 miles or something.
He.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a heckle mic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
I'm
the
like the heel.
comics-
I was like the heel of the show. Everybody hates me there.
Yeah.
I go in, everybody boos me, everybody yells at me, everybody tells me to shut the fuck up, and I'm like, cool, man, this is fun. I like it. I do like it. And then I go on stage, and then I'll walk on stage, and then before I even say a word, they're already booing me while I'm walking onto the stage. So
It's a good tradition at this point.
it's a good tradition.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. It's pretty funny because I've met a lot of people who are like, "You've been booed off." I'm like, "You haven't."
You'd have to have a. You'd have
Like,
to.
if you haven't been booed off in comedy, you're
you'd have
doing
to
something
have
wrong.
a child
Well,
and bring it
especially
onto the stage
at
with you.
that show. Like, have you ever even done Banana Phone if you haven't been booed off?
I've never
you
That's
done
know?
it.
true. But I just used to been booed off just at normal shows.
Oh,
I'd just
okay,
be
well-
there and I would just be like
Yeah,
getting
that's
booed off.
different.
That was
That's
just what
true.
I do.
Yeah.
And I was used to it and I loved it. If I wasn't getting booed off, I was doing something wrong. I wasn't learning. So, And then the
You
booze eventually
mentioned
stopped.
you mentioned Off the Cuff
Yeah.
earlier, the one here at Sunset Strip
Yeah.
Comedy Club, the one we shoot the podcast at.
Yeah.
What made you want to start a riffing daytime mic in Austin?
Because I'm mentally ill.
Okay.
No.
Oh, that is
well,
that's,
yes,
that's a reason
but-
to do it.
Well, yes. I was like, what's one more thing we can add to Sunset that, that will just, here's the thing. I think a big part of comedy is giving back to comedy because I feel like it gives us so much and we not take
That's
so
what the
much
podcast
from it.
is for,
Yeah. So you guys are giving back to the world.
Oh, yeah.
We totally are.
And
So much.
for me, I just was like, I think the improv mic works a different muscle because here we have every day of the week, basically aside from the tag writing mic, it's just a regular mic to go up with material.
Mhm.
And like I've been going to those mics since I got down here, and a lot of the time I realized is a lot of these comics, it's either it's their first time on stage, and so they don't necessarily know how to utilize the mic. They don't even have 5 minutes. Some
Right.
of them just have a minute because of Kill Tony or whatever. And so for me, I was like, what's a mic that we could do that will help build material, inspire new jokes, and also is like first time open micing friendly, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Can I? Is that like I can't imagine being a new comic and having to riff like that though. That
Well,
sounds terrifying.
no, but that's the thing is like, especially when we're starting out as comics, everything is terrifying. Like I
Yeah,
remember
right.
when I got asked to do my first 5-minute set, I was like, oh my God, like that seemed like so scary to me. Cause like, I just felt like, I don't know if I even have 5 minutes, but I feel like a lot of these things you just grow into and you have to face your fears and, bomb like
That's a good. I was
Put
just no,
yourself out
literally. I was
there.
just
Yeah.
said
that's-
bomb and pointed
yeah,
at
no,
it.
Well,
and she
That's
makes
what
a great
he said,
point.
He said it's learning because you learn from every time
Yeah.
you get on stage, especially like
Right.
when you're not doing well or bombing. Like, and sometimes even bombing is an art because you have to pull yourself out of that, and that's even funnier
No,
too.
that's true.
Or you just go
I've worked
into
your
it.
mic a couple times, and I'll say like I started way differently. When I started, it was like you just had to drive all over the town and try to hit as many mics as
Yeah.
possible when it was a bigger town. And then in Austin, these guys start at your mic at 4, and that opens up a floodgate for even the riffraff to come in, and these new guys even get like a social stand-up comedy crash course where they're like, because I wanted to bring up that you had to kick people out before.
Oh yeah, it's
And
not
it's-
it's not the riff mic. It's not off the cuff if someone isn't getting kicked out
Yeah.
every time.
Nice.
Right.
But that's the thing is like you get a lot of like first time micers, and I remember when I started like how intimidating it is, one, to get up on stage, but to just put yourself out into the community. And I noticed like a lot of the comics who come to my mic, they're the same people who go to all the other mics. And from when I started in LA, I realized like if you can make your peers laugh, like, and have them on your side rooting for you, a lot of these mics will only get better because they want to see you win. You
Yeah.
know, there's camaraderie. And so that's kind of what I've like been trying to foster at these mics. And also, you know, I see a lot of comics like come up with really good jokes, and I always try to like give feedback before they leave and encouragement, like write that down. Like Zeb had a really good riff the other day. He didn't record it, which is like you guys have to record
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
But it was just so cool to see the comics grow, and there's some really good riffers. So yeah, if you don't have material, it's good to have a place like that where you can just go up and speak out your thoughts, and
Right.
that's a
That
different
is good.
muscle.
I
It's
think
2
we
times a
made it.
week, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wednesdays and
Wednesdays.
Fridays, sign-ups at 3:30.
Yeah.
And I try to get everyone up, like, you know, as much as possible. And I do give priority to the people who work here because, you know, we need as much stage time as possible.
I do think like
yeah, these two definitely need stage time.
yeah, you don't. You're good. You've had
Yeah,
enough.
Exactly. I'm
there-
old now.
There is something about like when you're performing for other comedians and you're doing written material, sometimes I feel like they're judgy, like, I wish I'd have thought of that. But with riff stuff, it's just all in the moment. So it's just like people are a little looser. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I also think like there's also an element in comedy where you may not like someone, but you can still acknowledge that they're funny
Mhm.
no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
Because like funny is funny, even, you know, and there's always, I think someone said there's always like a joke that you from another comic that you wish you had written, if that makes sense. Like, I think at the end of the day, even if I walk into a room and I see someone I may not really care for, or like, even that's very few and far between, but if I see them doing well, for some reason that makes me like kind of like them. You know what I mean?
I'm the opposite. If I see someone I hate and they're crushing, I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this fucking dumb crowd.
For me,
Yeah.
I'm awful.
I'll
I'm
really
the
like
worst.
someone, and then I'll like watch them eat a slice of pizza or something, and it'll like gross me out for some weird reason, and I'll get like the ick for that person.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
I don't like that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they're
Yeah.
totally a fine person.
For real. Like,
Yeah.
that happened in my restaurant the other day. People came in, lady took her sandals off.
Oh.
Feet, she put them up on the chair, and I was just so, I couldn't.
That's different than
What's
a comic
it like
you
to
don't like.
work at Little Caesars?
It's tough. It's really tough because the people come in, they take their shoes off, and they're like, I need a hot and ready. I'm like, you need to get a hot and go out
Yeah,
of here.
Justin's a server at Little Caesars. He's not even hired. They just
Yeah.
give him an apron and let him
No,
walk
he's the
around.
pizza guy. He's the one holding the thing up.
Speaking of jobs, we heard that you have an MBA.
Oh yeah, who
We-
told you that?
we
No, I have an
actually-
MA. I have
An
an
MA?
MA.
Cool.
Not in business.
Cool.
Masters.
We heard you studied abroad in Ireland, and
I
that
did.
one of your first jobs was marketing for an Asian restaurant chain. But I guess we'll get back to the Ireland thing.
Oh, that's so funny.
Do you know who told us all this?
It's Christina.
Oh, damn it.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
knew
God.
you
Yeah,
guessed.
because now I see.
It's like
All of
who
these?
else
Yeah.
could have told us all
We
this?
got a little
Yeah.
Nardwuar
I didn't know how they got all
information
this
on you.
information, but yeah.
Okay, so basically, Christina and I met the owner of co-owner of Sunset Strip, this amazing place that we all work at.
We're in space.
So Christina and I met in college at this liberal arts college, Flex, in Boca Raton, Florida.
Extra flex.
Flex.
Yeah.
Extra flex.
And well, how I ended up there was, okay, so I went to school in Vermont, and it was a school that if like you had to have like a learning disability, or as they call it now, the non-binary version, learning difference. And
They don't call it that now,
yes, they
do
do.
No, they
learning
don't.
difference, because
I'm over it.
disability implies that you can't do something, and learning
Oh.
difference means that you learn
just stupid.
differently. Exactly. And
You
so
learn differently.
yeah.
I learned different.
Yeah,
if
you
you don't
don't.
know now.
you had to be retarded to go there, and so I
Works
I got
every
my
time.
associate's degree there, and then I applied to a bunch of different colleges for my 4-year, and I applied to. I ended up going to American University in
Okay.
Washington D.C.
Did they give you a bigger bus there?
Yes, the Metro bus, and so
Get it?
there was short buses at my school, which is
No
why,
way.
yeah, oh,
At the
100%.
college?
at the
See, I'm pretty good,
Vermont
Marcus.
at the Vermont College,
What's it
Yeah.
called?
Landmark College, yeah,
Landmark College.
yeah,
Jesus.
or Tardmark as I call it. No, I'm just they're gonna hate me. But anyways, it was a good school. I got confidence in, like, because I wasn't a good student in high school. Like, I was good at sports, but a lot of the time my grades affected my ability to play sports. I was
Oh,
yeah, that's some
shit.
bullshit.
yeah, I
What
was
sport?
basketball.
Okay.
And so I was like pretty good until like I got to like I went to how many different high schools? 1, 2, 3 different high schools.
Jesus.
And
Whoa.
I remember when I went from middle, because I started playing in 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I graduated from my middle school and I went to my first high school, which is a Catholic school, I was like, oh, these are like serious, like these players, they're like, I was like the skinniest, like I played, like I would play all positions. I would be forward, center, shooting guard. I was better at shooting guard than point guard, but I could
Same.
switch. I could play all the positions.
Aren't you Jewish?
Yeah, which is crazy. I was the best. I was the
The
best. I have a
scrawny Jew
joke.
at
I was
the
the
Catholic
best. I was the best guy on the best player on the guys basketball team.
Oh,
Like they actually had me play on the guys basketball team in middle school. They actually made me play all the sports. I was the most athletic person in the entire school. But
How many kids went there? Like 10?
it was a small school. It was a small middle school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you
Um,
went from star Jewish athlete to Vermont college?
Basically. And so
That's
I ended
awesome.
up so I graduated from Vermont. I went to school in DC and I was like the dumbest person in all the classes. Like everyone wanted to like be in politics and like work, work for the government, and I was like, I don't give a fuck about that. And so I transferred down to a college in Florida where I went, and I was like the smartest person. I was like a fucking genius. Like I literally like fit right in. Like everyone was on, and so
This girl
Everyone
got-
was on
this
what?
girl-
Everyone
this girl
was on
got
what?
something special.
everyone was on some. I mean, they were all on like all kinds of drugs because
Okay. All right,
it was
all right.
yeah. And so I just smoked weed in college. Like I didn't start smoking until I got to Vermont, so I was 19 years old.
Same.
And-
Same.
Oh my god, are
dude.
we
same.
twins?
Dude, because
Yeah, he kisses guys
I
too.
also started
Oh,
basketball
wow.
in 5th grade. I was also better at shooting guard than point guard because I can't
Yeah.
dribble. You know, I went to the gym yesterday. I made 47 out of 50 free throws.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Hey, you know what I did
You
with
text
basketball?
us about it.
I texted.
That's
I
the
had
kinda
to tell
text we
somebody.
get
I
from
hadn't
each
picked up
other.
a basketball in 3
And I'm
months.
not gonna
and I just
lie,
go there and
it
I'm like,
woke
bop,
me
bop,
up and
bop, bop.
it woke me up and I went, it's pretty good. And I went back to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I did in basketball? I got cut in 8th
Yeah,
grade.
we
Yeah.
believe
And then I
it.
never
Bench.
tried out again.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got cut too because I wouldn't lay up with the right leg because of my
Oh.
disability. I mean, my
Oh.
difference.
Yeah.
You're different.
I was
I-
gonna say.
my
I missed
different leg.
I missed every layup and made us all do killers. Like
Oh,
every time.
you were that kid on the team?
Every
Fuck.
time we had like a lineup of like 20 kids trying out, and I missed them every time. I'm like, I got it this time. I even tried. I was like, I'm
With
gonna
your
slow
with
down.
your
It's
legs,
crazy.
they were like, you go for a layup and like, is that kid dancing?
Dude, there was always that drill where it's like if you got to make 20 layups in a row as a team or some shit, and if one person misses, everyone's running,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
that one person misses, and everyone wants to fucking
Oh,
like
yeah.
Full Metal Jacket with the
Yeah.
soap in the
Mhm.
fucking pillowcase.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's true. So yeah, so then I met Christina in Florida. We met on a trip to Ireland because our school, like, they would do this thing called J term. So in January you would have to take a course, or like mainly they wanted you to like go abroad somewhere. And so they had like trips like going on a cruise, which was basically partying, or they had
Nice.
like service type trips. So I went to 2 J terms. One, I went to Ireland, which was like a party type, trip
So
essentially.
it wasn't to go to study. We
No.
put studied on it.
No,
It
we
been putty
studied,
abroad.
but it was like mainly to party. And then another J term, I went to Jamaica and I built like houses for the poor people there.
Did you
yeah.
smoke a lot of weed there?
I'm trying to. Yes, I did smoke weed,
I
but
forgot.
but
I smoked so much weed.
okay, I smoked weed, but it was like local weed. It wasn't that good.
Stick weed or whatever.
Yeah, it
Is
just was like.
Jamaican
they don't
weed
have-
not good? Is it bad?
I mean, when I went, it just like it's not great because you're in like Kingston, which is like like notoriously not like the tourist town.
Yeah.
It's very much like
Murder capital of the world.
yeah, it's like really dangerous and
And they don't got good weed. That's crazy.
They're smoking shit.
why they're
I-
killing
I-
each other.
that's
I
literally-
know. That's what I figured. I figured they needed weed for the killings. That
They were
happening.
stoned.
I
They
gotta
wouldn't be
chill
killing
out.
each other.
yeah, it's also illegal there.
Oh,
It's culturally obviously like a thing.
Dude.
It's part of the religion.
If
it's
I,
part
if
of,
I got arrested for weed in Jamaica, I would fucking throw a fit. I would
Yeah.
be like
That's what
Julian
you would do?
Assange. I would
You
be
would throw a fit?
Yeah, I'd be like,
You don't
"Bruh,
understand.
bruh, let me smoke, brother. Sorry.
I knew it was coming.
hilarious.
What
But
was
yeah,
Ireland like?
Ireland was dope. I had I had never I didn't have any like cultural ties to Ireland. Obviously I'm Jewish. There's nothing Irish about me. Um and I'm like the
Don't
opposite.
you feel good about that, though?
I'm
Isn't that a nice
like
thing?
Ireland's like kiss me, I'm Irish. It's like don't kiss me, I'm Jewish. Like I have stomach
Works
issues.
every time.
My
You don't
tummy
want none of
hurts.
this.
My
You don't
tummy
want none
hurts.
of
Don't
this.
kiss me, I'm Jewish. That's so
Oh,
funny.
for real.
And so yeah, so basically at the time, like I didn't drink beer or like
Oh,
whiskey
okay.
or anything because I just had bad experiences with beer. I thought at one point I was allergic to it because like a gluten thing or whatever. So I drank Moscato, which is a dessert wine.
Yeah. That's
Like-
yeah, sweet.
Yeah, it's
It's
and
good,
so,
though.
Yeah, so Christina and I, we like basically bought out the entire country's stock of Moscato because we would just go to this liquor store every day, and so
We're shipping it in from Dublin and they
Yeah.
can't get it here fast enough.
they were like, what's
Oh,
wrong
these two
with her?"
Americans are coming and drinking all our Moscato.
Yeah.
Oh, they're after our Moscato.
I didn't even go to the Guinness factory, and now I look back, I'm like such an idiot. But
You didn't go to the Guinness factory?
no,
Where-
everyone else did.
Where's Moscato from?
Well, you did it right.
I think Moscato is maybe Italian or
That sounds right.
I don't know.
Moscato-
California.
Moscato sounds
California.
right.
I say California.
You can probably get it in California.
Is the Italian name
Yeah,
for
it's
Muscat
Italian.
Blanc.
Yeah.
Very ancient grape.
If you go to Muscat.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
you're actually doing something that's like really,
you
really
like Guinness,
ancient in
though?
time.
honestly, like I actually do like beer now.
Mhm.
I like Guinness.
Okay.
I'm not big on the stouts and things like
Me
that because
either.
it's so heavy to me. Like I like a light beer,
Mm,
or a fruit beer or a cider.
okay.
It doesn't get cold enough here either to enjoy like a
Yeah,
dark beer.
100%. Like
sadly.
you can't drink a Guinness during the summer. You're a monster.
A
you
hot
know.
day
I'll
Guinness.
watch my
It's like drinking a glass of milk.
Yeah,
Dude, I
literally.
watched my friend in Michigan in the winter. He'll drink like a 12-pack of Guinness. It's because the beer's not that high alcohol content. So if you like Guinness, you can just down them. But it's also shocking to me that he can down like 12 of those.
Gross.
Yeah,
I
I should
hate
see you with
Guinness.
White Claws. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
You should see you with eating. It's disgusting.
Okay, fair enough. Got me there. Say something nice. then.
Yes, it's time.
You say something nice,
Your hair looks great.
Aw.
and you look very comfy.
Fucking just the cheapest shit.
I haven't had a warm shower in 2 weeks.
What's going on? I heard
Oh,
about. I
that
saw,
happened to
what
me here.
happened?
It's crazy. The
Yeah.
water heater, and then they go, "Oh well." I'm like, "The pilot light's out. I know it's just the pilot light." And then they go over and they're like, "No, the whole thing needs to be replaced." And they call us and they go, "So you have an ancient water heater, and there's like one of these in like a 50-mile radius. We have to go and try to find it." And they get there and like, "Oh, we went, and there's no water heater." And so my skin's doing great. My
What
hair
a
is awesome. but
Question: Do you wait? So did you try to do the pilot light?
I get to break into my neighbor's house. That's like another thing.
Oh.
So the water went out, the hot water went out here during when those awful hurricanes were happening.
Mhm.
And so I was
Oh.
like, I would take a cold shower and I'm like getting pissed because it's like a torch. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a form of torture in a way, but it also it's good for your all the cold plunges and
Right.
stuff. But when you're doing that for 2 weeks unwanted, I felt bad that I was like upset, but then I'm like, at least they have hot water,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah.
But like
In the
you know,
hurricane?
yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it brought me back down.
I was
to-
at JJ's house yesterday, just running my hands under the warm kitchen sink. He caught me.
Oh,
That's not doing anything.
when I would go out to eat, I would ask for a warm towel,
You wouldn't.
and that would be like the closest thing to a hot shower
a
for
fucking
like 2
refugee or
weeks.
something?
Yeah.
If someone asked me for a warm towel at my job,
Yeah, but you work at fucking McDonald's, you know.
oh, now yeah, I do have 2 jobs
Works every time.
I do have 2 jobs, so it's annoying. Little Caesars and McDonald's, it's the worst.
Oh, you got to make the burgers and the fries?
yeah,
Jesus,
and
okay.
the pizza at night.
What's it like working with Trump?
Pretty awesome, actually. He showed me how to salt the fries correctly.
Nice.
So that was what I was missing.
Needs
up.
more white on it. We need more white on these fries.
Yes,
Oh, man.
exactly.
Obsessed.
Bill Burr had the greatest take on that. He goes, "That was the first time I ever saw him happy." On the SNL
Yeah,
monologue.
yeah.
Yeah.
He did
like-
look too
he goes-
happy at the
He's like, this is where they make the fries and everything.
He
Bill
was
Burr is
so
great.
excited.
And like
Yeah.
the Happy Meals, that's
Yeah.
why they're, they bring joy.
They used to bring me when I got one. That was happiness. You got
Yeah.
little toys.
Oh my
You should
God.
go get Happy Meals.
The boost of
sometime.
serotonin that you would get as a kid.
Yeah.
Like,
remember, you ever play in the playset too?
Of
You'd ever go in
course.
and when you wanted to be in McDonald's. Now you don't because there's too many old people. They took it over.
You know
It's
what
like
thought
they're-
that disturbs
well, they
me?
also
It's like
found
their
out
Cheers.
it's like so unsafe. Like kids were like shitting in the ball.
Oh, yeah, that was a
and, like,
problem, too.
People were
pissing,
putting
like,
razor blades
yeah,
in the
it was like,
slides.
what?
Yeah. People are evil, man.
Yeah, I don't like people sometimes. We're just trying to be kids. Play with some balls.
Yeah. I mean,
What
there's
the
no one
fuck?
going down in there like wiping the balls off. Like,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
They don't have like
Yeah.
a thing.
That's
I don't
Justin's
know.
job.
I never
They
saw a
can't.
thing.
They can't like throw a thing
There's
in
no
there and it like
sanitizing
explodes.
thing.
Marcus's
No.
whole childhood is getting fucked up right now. He's like, they don't clean the balls.
No.
No, I licked
they-
those.
And they wonder why we all have autism. It's
Yeah.
because of
I thought-
McDonald's play pit.
Is it them Happy Meals?
Microplastics.
it's not the vaccines, it's the playpen at McDonald's.
Yeah,
Like-
cutting kids up and serving them ice cream. No, actually, you can't get no ice cream because their ice cream machine's broke. So.
Yeah, but I read somewhere recently that they have like I think it's like they have a new technology where it like fixes itself or something. There's like there's like
Yeah, it's called a worker that actually does its job.
it's called I won't say it.
Yeah,
but
thanks,
yeah,
Jimmy.
it's,
Just hit the button, Jimmy. That's all you gotta do. No shit.
No, there's I think they like figured out a way to like you'll have to Google it. But yeah.
Well, didn't we look into it? They said they had like a contract where they couldn't touch the ice cream
Yeah,
machines.
something like there was an outside contractor that actually owned the machine, so the workers weren't allowed to fix it or something.
right.
Some fucking legal
Dumb shit.
For a long
bullshit.
time,
It's
yeah.
crazy when
Right.
food is just like people are outsourcing like the equipment inside the restaurants, and other people are outsourcing the everything, and it's just crazy.
We need to insource some ice cream.
Yeah, we need to insource it because we need a shake, and it's fucking 10 p.m. It's not
Actually,
that
you know
late.
what? I don't think America needs more ice cream. I'll say that. I think we'd be.
They even got rid of supersize. I mean, they got rid of
That's a
supersize.
good thing.
That was literally
that
like-
was a good idea.
They were like, guys, we're doing way too much. We got too many.
but then they
people
also
getting
got rid of
supersize.
smalls too.
They also didn't take away the limit you could order.
Wait, that was a thing?
No, they didn't. That's what I'm saying. You
They
can still
still
pull
have-
up and say, I
that
want
actually is
3
true.
Big Macs now.
Or
and then
3
you get, like, the
shakes.
supersize. I'll
That's
take
Wow.
4 large fries.
That's true.
Oh,
So
what did
really-
you want back there? 5 large fries?
Phil, you're just talking about yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I have gone out to eat with Philip, and it's crazy.
Did
he
you,
orders so much food, and I go, "Isn't it just for us?" He's like, "Yeah, but we'll have extra." It's like
Or I go, I have the app. Let's see what's free.
that's what he
Ah.
says. That's
you
what it
fuck.
is.
Oh yeah,
Man.
that's
The
like
app.
at Chick-Fil-A. You'll get points and shit.
Exactly.
Do you
yeah.
use apps, Rachel? Do you use any of the food apps? Like
yeah,
for fast food?
Chick-Fil-A.
Is that the main one?
That's
Chick-fil-A is the
probably
one?
the only one.
I don't use any of them. I'm too
One of my
old
favorite
to
ones
give a
because they
shit
call you
about
by
it.
your name the moment
Yeah.
you eat. You're like, how are you doing, Rachel?
Yeah. No, the Chick-fil-A one is dope. You earn points. You can get some free stuff and like.
What's your order at Chick-fil-A? Do you have
Okay.
a strict order?
Yeah. Well, I like the grilled chicken.
Nuggets.
Nuggets, those
Yeah.
because you can still eat healthy at a lot of these places. I watch a lot of videos on TikTok, and so
Works every
so
time.
I get the grilled chicken nuggets. I get a kale salad,
Oh,
and I
this
get the
is
fruit
fancy.
cup, and I'll get a bunch of the sauces.
That it might be the gayest order you can get.
Yeah,
at
but you
Chick-fil-A.
know, I
I'll be
will say
honest.
this.
Yeah,
I
you're
will say
supposed to
this
go there not
because
for
a
that.
lot of the sauces are high in sugar, so I get the buffalo sauce, which is
Yeah.
'cause
Yep.
you
It's
know.
low on sugar. That's
yeah,
why
it's
you
lower
get
in
it.
sugar.
It's
Yeah.
like the perfect meal. You're supposed to eat protein. You get the glucose.
It is.
It
It's
is.
nice, but
Yeah.
that's not the reason why you go
Yeah.
to Chick-fil-A. You go to Chick-fil-A to get fat.
Okay, if I'm being naughty, I'll get like a spicy
Oh.
chicken sandwich and some waffle fries.
There you go.
You
Now
know.
that's an order I
What's your
understand.
sauce of
Justin, what do
choice?
you do when you're
Ooh.
naughty?
Ooh, I
Ooh,
like
when I'm naughty, I'll get me a.
I was hoping you were gonna do some sort of sex joke. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
What was your sauce of choice?
I was
Oh.
going to, but then I wanted to be respectful.
I get okay, so I like the buffalo sauce, I like the Hawaiian sauce, I like the ranch obvi, yeah, those are my favorite.
What's your favorite ranch? Do you have a big
That's a good
favorite
question,
ranch?
actually.
Hidden Valley Ranch?
Get the fuck out
Mm.
of here! No, you're lying.
I'm
Yeah,
on
no.
a Kins kick right now.
No, it just yeah.
It's not Hidden Valley.
No,
It better
I
not be.
don't have like a
That should come out
particular.
like toothpaste.
I don't have a particular. I like as I've gotten older, I like a blue cheese.
I like a blue
Really?
cheese. There you
Wow.
go, blue
Are you
cheese.
telling me there's a chance I might develop the palate
Yeah.
for it?
Yes,
I
blue
have been
cheese
eating
is
it on
good.
salads lately. I've been crumbling it in there, and I'm like, it kind of teases me a little bit.
It's I like
That's
the,
what it
the
is.
tangy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's
Mustard's not
some blue
doing it
cheeses
anymore
that
for me.
aren't so good. I don't like goat cheese. I hate goat cheese.
Oh, Matt hates goat cheese.
It's the gaminess
Oh,
at the
I
end.
like
fucking-
it. I love
I
it.
hate it. And all women love goat cheese.
Oh, they do.
Do you
So does
think
my
just
brother.
Getting
Yeah.
older is just going like, you know what? I want that. I want to feel.
Feta cheese is fire.
Yeah.
What about
Because a
feta
kid, I
cheese
hated
is
stuffing,
fire.
and now
I
I
haven't
love
tried
stuffing.
most of these
Gorgonzola
cheeses.
cheese is. That's
I like
because you.
blue
Gouda.
cheese.
That's
the blue
because you
cheese.
only eat American.
No, I don't eat American.
You
I
don't
eat Gouda,
spend money on
Swiss.
cheese. You don't spend money on
Munster.
cheese. You know what's a really crazy one we found? Espresso cheese. You ever tried that?
No.
I have.
It's very fancy. I
Yeah.
let you try it at my house.
Yeah, it's really good.
I like how he said, "I made you let you try it at my house." Damn, dude.
Yeah, I did do that.
Yeah, I saw you do.
Yeah, I made him let him do
Okay.
it at my
There's a
house.
school in Vermont you should check out.
Yeah.
I already graduated.
Landmark College.
Fall back, dude.
Hey, well, guess what? I
That-
already,
our mascot was sharks. We're in the middle of Vermont. There's
the
no.
landmark sharks.
can we look up their logo?
Dude, the landmark sharks?
They
This
might
is
have
like a.
changed it.
This
but
is a fucking
Landmark
creative
College in
school in
Vermont.
NCAA.
I mean,
dude.
I did go to Davenport University, which was in
Yeah,
Grand
he didn't go
Rapids,
to real school
Michigan.
either.
Were
was
you
a private
Davenport
university-
Beavers? That just
And-
feels right.
No, it was the Panthers.
Okay.
Dude, it's a really beautiful place to go to school.
does
yeah,
look nice.
Landmark
Oh, cool.
Sharks,
Dude,
baby.
the
That shark
Landmark
does look a little off, though.
Land
That shark
sharks?
does look a little
Y'all
Yeah,
got
retarded.
land
yeah.
sharks? Cool.
Why are all the
Oh, land
students holding
shark.
onto a rope?
okay,
shark
okay,
looks
okay.
good.
Yes, I will say when I went there, it was 80% guys, which obviously.
That's why you were the smartest
Obviously
one.
what? Obviously
Statistically,
what?
that makes sense.
Oh, we're more retarded?
Yeah.
Are you
No,
saying
no, no.
men are
What
dumber
it-
than
no, no,
women?
no. Actually, what it does mean, and I've read about this, is like women go underdiagnosed because it's not as expected for women to be like,
Dumb.
well, not dumb, just like, not dumb, but just like,
Sorry.
like ADHD
Oh,
or you know, it's more, it's more like diagnosed among boys.
Do you think
I
it's
feel like.
sexism in the medical industry that they just dismiss a lot of it as
I
like, oh, it's just women?
I don't know if it's like I don't know what to like chalk it up, what like ism to chalk it up to, but
Mm.
I just think that it was less because I read a lot of things online on TikTok. No. But it's something that like a lot of women are getting diagnosed later in life because they just weren't diagnosed or maybe it didn't come out as like boys are more vocal, they're more fidgety. Like I just think that it just goes underdiagnosed for
Yeah.
You're saying
whatever
because
reason.
women are more quiet about their issues is what kind of like things they don't
Maybe-
want. I'm not being an ass either. I'm literally.
No,
being-
I think there's something to that. I just don't know what specifically.
women are also more put together. I feel mentally.
I mean, they knew as a kid that I was special. Like there was
Who-
no
who i-
doubt
who
about
is
it.
they?
They would be my parents, the school, the therapist, the doctors.
So not
like-
they, everybody.
Yeah, everyone.
Everybody.
Everyone knew. It was not a secret.
You versus the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I was just called by my brother and friends and
The
a
So
lot of
everyone?
people.
The
Yeah,
lo-
everyone.
local
Yeah,
city
just like you,
council.
but I didn't have to have doctors because
See,
I
I
just
was clearly I was the only friend that wasn't on like Adderall.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
all
have
my friends
Adderall.
are like, yeah, and I was like the fat kid too. I was like, we're all showing
I
up,
was
eating the
too.
same meal every day, the same place. And
Mom,
everyone's
why am I
losing
bigger
weight.
than all my friends and they all
Yeah.
have better grades than me?
Yeah.
Also, I didn't understand drugs till I got older, so I didn't even know kids were like on Adderall. I didn't know what that stuff was because
See,
we didn't do that.
I was the kid in school that would leave class to go take Adderall. There wasn't like many of us doing that when I was growing up.
Do you have
Like,
to like
you
go to
gotta
an
put-
office? and
you
shit?
had
Yeah, I would have to go
Adderall
to the
break?
office.
okay.
The
That's
nurse
so
would give
dope.
me Adderall.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was like, it made me feel bad about myself.
And then you
That
get
was
to
most of
college
my
and you're
friends
like,
too. At
"Oh,
that
I
point, it
was
was probably Ritalin too,
And
like Concerta.
yeah, well,
so.
I was 5 when I was diagnosed ADHD, and they initially first put me on Ritalin, which at 5 seems
5?
insane. Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
what
man.
is that? Can you remember the feeling? Like what it does it?
Okay, so it just made me like I remember irritable because when I would have the come down from it, but it was like, when you're not medicated, you have all these thoughts. It's like your thoughts are like cars on the freeway. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I felt kind of blank up there.
Oh, because you were straight. You were ready to.
I was just
Get your-
hyper focused.
But you had
on-
nothing else to think about
Right.
because you were a 5-year-old. You have nothing to do. You're supposed to be thinking and coloring and
Yeah.
shit, and you're like thoughts are coming.
It
You're
made
like, yeah,
me
do
sit
that.
still, if that makes sense. Like
That's-
I was
yeah.
able, because I was like a rambunctious, I was like a tomboy. I would be climbing on the
You
jungle
were a normal
gyms.
kid, it sounds
right,
like.
right.
Yeah.
And
so, you better
so-
calm that kid down. She's
Yeah.
having fun.
My mom wouldn't let me go on medication. I guess she was just really against it. That was her stance. But she started making me drink coffee in the mornings. because apparently that has like the same effect for people with ADHD.
She
How'd
made
that-
you
how'd
drink
that
coffee
work?
when you were
Coffee
a
in the
kid?
morning, like probably when I was like as early as 4th grade. She's like, you could have a cup of
Fuck
coffee.
me, dude.
Well, I mean, dude, I would drink
It's a
coffee
stimulant.
and
Have
I would
you
get
met
settled
Philip
in.
as an adult?
Like, I'm
Could
on
you
coffee
imagine?
right now and I'm locked in with you guys.
Yeah.
If I wasn't,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
That's because we're only
You know what's
40
dust-
minutes in, but once
Yeah.
that coffee wears off,
About
I
an
know it's
hour
about
and
to
change.
happen.
It's
Yeah.
probably a lot better for you than the
Than the meth.
legal meth that I was.
yeah, yeah.
that I was
At 18 though,
prescribed.
I took my SATs, got a lower grade than, or I got like 1100, and I was like, I want to take it. I was
Is that bad?
18.
Is that bad?
My mom was like, okay,
didn't
we'll
you
get you the
laugh at him?
appointment, and I studied with it for 6 months and like raised my score 300 points.
Oh wow.
So
Wow.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Adderall is a hell of a drug. I will
Yeah.
say, man.
Uh,
I didn't do it
Yeah.
till college, and
Yeah.
once I did, oh,
Yeah,
I
I wish
say-
I would have had it for the ACT so bad.
I say
because
I was-
failed at.
I was too young to appreciate the amount of Adderall I was on. Like I would.
That's what I
like-
was saying.
don't
I'm
you
like,
wish you
yeah.
saved? Well, I guess it goes bad,
Dude,
but
I will say during finals time, I was so popular. I
Yeah.
had so many friends. Like I was
Did you
making
even
that
know?
money.
Were you, you were selling it? Yeah.
But
well,
by the end
I
of the
would,
month, you were
I
like,
yeah, exactly. No, I had so much. I had extra. Like
How much were you getting prescribed?
I'm trying to remember what the milligram was.
do you still have a
Well, I meant-
prescription?
No, but
do
I
you
do
have
take,
any on you?
I take Stratera right now, which
Ooh,
is
what
what's
I'm
that?
on as
yeah.
well.
Do you
Can
like
you
it?
snort that?
We can,
No.
we can try anything.
I'm on
at
a
this
break
point.
right now. I don't. If you want me to share how it makes me feel directly, I don't know. Like I don't want to like what do they call that when you phantom give someone side effects though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So, but I like it a lot when it works really well for me. But I'll say that after about 2 weeks of taking it consistently, when it really starts to hit its stride, I start to feel a little kooky.
Really?
And and that's and I'll sober up and I'll be like, and I'll still be taking it and I'll be like, no, it's the meds make me feel just a smidge kooky. And I stayed on
Yeah.
40 milligrams for that reason,
I'm on
and that's
the,
been helping.
I think I'm on the 42 or whatever. It's like it's like that. I'm like, I don't know if it's working. I want to try to go back to maybe
Yeah.
Adderall.
What is it like? Is it supposed to be like a chiller Adderall or
It's a
something?
stimulant, right?
They described it as, or they made it as an antidepressant at first, and it's kind of closer to Wellbutrin than it is to
Okay.
Adderall or a stimulant.
Okay.
But I liked it because it made me feel very, very. It makes me feel really content with my task at hand.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm doing something, I'm doing it well, and it feels good to be doing it. And that's like I realize I do have a dopamine deficiency. Like my brain, when I'm trying to do things, I'll be like, let's smoke a joint real quick. Let's grab a cup of coffee. Let's clean the living room so your space is in. It's like that's just all me dopamine crunching and searching
Yeah.
to get one task done.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Maybe I need some of what you got.
But
Yeah.
it's a tough, like the side effect battle with it is tough. The first 2 days I took it, I was zombified.
Yeah. No, that was like a weird. That was
And that
like
was
a
my
weird,
first time with a
They
psychotic drug
warn
like
you.
that.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's scary.
Got to eat with it.
Yeah.
You
no,
absolutely have to eat.
See, I'm gonna go back and take it after this because I had my yogurt
Are you sweating?
a little bit in my armpits.
That's another reason I go off and on it because it makes me. I'll do a set and I'll get off stage and I'll be like, holy shit, someone take my shirt
Wait,
off.
are you
me."
guys
I
also
can't tell-
twins?
I can't tell if it's me that smells like onions or this mic.
It's the microphone.
It does smell like onions.
I told
I'm
you.
not gonna lie.
Dude,
It's got to be the mic.
all
Oh,
the
mine
mics?
smells like onions too.
Told you. That's why it's not by me.
Yes, they all smell like onions.
They just came out of a package a couple weeks ago, right? We usually do steak and onions on the pod, so
Yeah, in a Whataburger bag.
in a,
Oh, shit.
in a Whataburger bag
Almost
is
got him to
great.
spit. That'd have been good.
Anyway, yeah, we do like onions here. So I mean, welcome to the Wet Podcast.
Big onion podcast.
Big onion podcast. We tear up. That's-
Okay, I wanted to ask about weed in Ireland though.
Okay, so I had some really good weed in Ireland.
Nice.
How I found it was I
green.
went to a local tattoo shop and I basically asked the artist there if they could get me some weed.
Life
and
hack.
he got me like really good green, good smelling because it's like kind of the perfect conditions to grow weed there.
Really?
Yeah, it's Ireland.
Well, it's
You
kind
would-
of reminds
yeah.
me of like Northern California, just like rainy and green and just like the lush, like the perfect.
Dude, Guinness
Conditions.
ganja.
Yeah.
One day when
Oh
it's
my
all
God.
dude, Ireland might have really good
They
weed.
do
Yeah.
farm their soil.
Yeah.
That's how good it is there.
Yeah, it just felt like it just was
Did
really
it
good.
smell
weed.
good over there?
Yeah. Well,
I meant
will
like
say,
I meant the air.
yeah. I mean, I will say
Is it
this:
fresh as
like
hell?
it gets like it won't get dark till like 11 p.m.
What?
and then
So
it
far
gets
north.
it gets bright at like 5 or 6 a.m. So you only have a few hours of darkness. And so where we were staying, it was in Dublin, and it was like a very like touristy, maybe downtown. I don't know what part, but it's like where all the tourists are
Mm.
at at like 5 or 6 in the morning, you would just hear the garbage trucks coming to pick up the trash, and it was all bottles. Like you would just hear glass
Oh,
for
yeah.
for
yeah.
like 20 minutes, just like clink, 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 and that's what
Oh.
you like wake up to.
Yeah.
And it was just all
They
the
call
liquor.
that a European alarm
yeah,
clock.
yeah, it was exactly. And
Damn
so
it.
yeah, it was crazy every morning.
Because I smoked
like,
weed in England, and same the garbage truck thing is everywhere. But yeah, dude, I don't know where I got I bought the weed from a friend of a friend,
Yeah.
and he brought it over. It was like 60 pounds worth of weed. So what? Not 60 pounds, but like in money.
So that's like
It was like a quarter,
eighth.
whatever.
Buddy,
so
I
the
knew
guy
you
comes
meant
over.
money.
The guy comes over, right? And he gives me the weed, and then he pulls out a literal brick of cocaine that
Yeah.
had broken in half, and he was like, "I had to bring it with me. I think they're watching me." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're walking around England with a fucking brick of cocaine. There's cameras everywhere. They're 100% watching you." So I take that weed and I go, this is in Birmingham in Northern England, and I take the train down to London, and I get in my Airbnb, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm just going to smoke weed in my Airbnb because why not?" And then the next morning, I get a knock on my door. I'm like, "Oh, they're here about the weed." And I open it, and it's this Australian lady who runs the Airbnb. She's like, "You're smoking weed in the Airbnb." I'm like, "No, I'm not." She's like, "Oh, I smell the weed." And she's like, "Go to the fucking park." So then the rest of the trip, every day, I would go to the park 3 times a day and just fucking sit in a park like a homeless guy and just smoke weed in England.
And
be
you were like, I'm on vacation right
"Yeah,
now.
dude, it was the best." I was listening to that Charlie XX album or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Really?
I don't know what I was listening to, man. I was so high in England.
You were in your brat era? And
No, not Charlie. What is the Charlie something something? I don't know. Fucking whatever.
XCS?
That one.
Yeah.
That
I don't
one.
know what that is.
You know
but-
what it is.
Which
though.
one's that?
It's
What-
the one
what's
with
the
the
song?
colors and the kaleidoscope and whatever, dude. Yeah,
Okay.
Europe's crazy with weed. You been to Amsterdam or no?
No.
Okay.
I wish I would have gone when I was back in my stoner era.
You've traveled a lot, right? You've traveled all over the world, haven't you?
I've traveled. I've been to places. I haven't been to I haven't been to Italy, which I would love to go to Italy.
I haven't been
Um,
out of the United States.
My
so.
favorite place to go was Greece.
I have not
Really?
been to Greece.
Greece is so dope.
What's
Mm.
what? Oh, they have that nice.
The water
view.
is
The
amazing.
yeah, I was
the
just thinking of that.
architecture, the food. I mean, I love Greek food, so it's
Mm.
like perfect. And I love the European culture because like every day between like 4 and 6 p.m. they kind of close down for a nap or whatever,
That's amazing.
and then things are open like till late, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they got a nap.
Yeah.
Us
yeah.
Americans, we shut down at 2 because we're like, dude, we've been drinking all day.
yeah.
We haven't had one
Or
nap.
Happy Chicks decides they're not even going to fucking open
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
I have been to Italy. I will say Italy. Forget about it. No,
Yeah.
Italy's cool. Italy's really cool.
But the food and the like history and
It is. I loved it. I went to the Vatican. I went to the Colosseum. I went to
Yeah.
the fucking
Did you get any good pizza?
the Roman Forum. I got pizza.
My
not
dumb
that
ass
good.
would just be like,
Really?
everything's haunted.
Did you say not good?
Okay, well, I'm probably used to it was good, but I'm eating it. I'm like, this is like artisan
we're used
pizza.
to like deep dish.
Dog, I wanted Little Caesars.
Ah.
I was drunk walking
Really?
around the street. The bolognese I had was really good. The Airbnb I stayed at, it was like a family fucking vineyard, and they had rooms they would rent out. And
Oh,
one
that's
night a
cool.
week they were like, we're doing a big pasta making thing, so everyone who's staying can come. They made the pasta from scratch. They made the
Ugh.
sauce from scratch.
Whoa.
This
I
fucking
love it.
carbonara. It was so fucking good.
And they all
man.
lived, and it was on a vineyard.
on a vineyard outside
Did
of
they
Rome.
also make their own wine too?
They did. And I
That's
drank
amazing.
it,
Wow.
I think. I got hammered. I was
Was
so
it good?
drunk. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know what else
Outside of
looks-
Rome?
Outside of Rome.
Fuck
You know what
dude.
place looks so dope? Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you been there too, Marcus?
As a very young child, but it's basically Austria.
It
And-
looks so
When you
dope.
imagine Child Marcus, do you also imagine him with a beard?
Oh,
Shut
me?
up.
Yeah, like if
Oh.
you if
Stop,
you
don't
imagine
say it.
baby Marcus.
Say something
yeah, he
nice.
See,
came
like-
out of the womb like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Instead of hair here, it was
Mhm.
just hair here.
Hey, the doctor yanked me out by the beard.
It's hard to imagine.
Well,
either
it's
way.
definitely a boy.
It's definitely a boy.
Well, nowadays it also could be a girl.
Yeah, but in 93 in Germany, they're like, this is a boy.
In Germany, they
this
take
is-
you out and they say, "You're going to be a carpenter."
Yeah, yeah.
They put you
pulled
in a
me
wood
out,
box
and they were
until you're
like, "You're
18.
going to be in a fairy tale one day." The baby with the beard. It's like a lesson. It's a lesson to mothers.
A legend is born.
Yeah.
How do you say that in German? It's got to sound cool.
Instead of a stork, it's like
Ein
he's brought.
Legende ist
he's brought up-
geboren.
I knew it.
Say it
Wow.
again.
It's similar. in
Are you
language.
fluent?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
You should do a German set. You should go
Yeah,
to Germany and do
I
stand-up.
want to go to Germany. I've never done stand up in Germany.
Could
You
you
wouldn't
do
come back. They'd
German.
take
Could
you
I
from
hear-
us.
I don't know.
Well, remember, I don't know if you ever met Ari Maddie's friend Xander.
Yeah.
He came here and it was like he normally doesn't do his sets in English because
Mhm.
it's like the translation is different and like culturally like a lot of the references may
Oh,
not
yeah.
like hit here.
I cannot imagine doing like my set just translated 1-to-1 in Germany.
right.
Because I'm like, I don't think it would hit the same.
Yeah.
So like in my head, I'm like, I would have to go over there and like riff and rewrite things.
Right.
Which
Would I ask you
I
to
feel
do-
comfortable that I think I could just go up there and talk in German for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but you'd be exotic now because like you're like an American.
Yeah.
You know.
I made Germans laugh over there in German all the time. I'm
Yeah.
hilarious. I don't
He's
Could
the
know
you
most
what
could you
fuck
do one of
language.
your jokes in like a simple one of your simple one-liner jokes in German? What would it sound like? Like the Costco. Could I ask you to do the Costco? Just say-
They're gonna
Yeah.
sell weed at Costco, Kirkland Kush in Germany.
Ja, irgendwann wenn die Gras.
I love
don't
that it's
know.
just
Oh
Costco.
shit,
Irgendwie-
that's funny.
Irgendwann
dude.
werden die Cannabis bei Costco verkaufen. Und ich freue mich darauf, ne? Weil ich will irgendwann mal Kirkland Kush.
that's good.
Kirkland
I
Kush
like
Kiffen.
Yeah.
Works every
Kiffen.
time.
Kiffen is German for smoking weed specifically.
What is
Oh,
Hiffen?
wow.
Kiffen?
Kiffen.
Kiffen. Yeah.
Kiffen.
It's not smoking, it's smoking weed.
So
You
when
know
the
what I mean?
cops yell at you for smoking weed, they go, "Nine Kiffen.
Hör
Nine
mit,
Kiffen."
hör mit
German
dem
and
Kiffen
Nein,
auf.
Kiffen.
If you ever walk in on Marcus having a conversation with his mother phone, you just go, close the you close the door. You're like, oh my god.
Is she
Yeah.
only German?
She speaks English, but
Oh,
with
okay.
me, she
Oh,
speaks German.
She's a lovely woman, but when she's the German,
She's
scary.
super German.
love
I don't
it.
know. That's my
Tony
mom.
Casillas also speaks
Be
German.
nice to my mom.
Really?
She
Tony
is.
Casillas,
She's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
There's
Yeah.
a couple of them out here.
Yeah,
my,
they're
my wife, my
spies.
wife hates when me and Tony Casillas talk German to each
Oh
other.
my
She
gosh.
fucking hates it.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
I
because
love
they're-
it.
That's a
waiting
good
to
topic
get-
to bring
they're
up. The
waiting to
comedy
get
They're
couple.
just
triggered.
talking shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what. Yeah, I can understand why she's paranoid.
But yeah, so yeah, my wife thinks that I was sent by the German government to infiltrate black culture and report back. That's an actual.
And it makes sense because
sounds
out of-
real.
She said that.
Yes,
to me. You know, when she told me that, I was like, you know how much fucking cooler that would be than just being a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be like a
also,
movie.
What a cool sentence to drop.
You know,
I know that you were sent here by the German government to infiltrate the black culture of America.
Fucking-
That's
yeah,
a
and I'm just
mouthful.
sit-
And to
I'm
nail
just
it.
sitting there like, I love you too, and I'm like, I don't fucking.
see,
what
but
they-
think about
they
it though,
do have-
because Marcus did. So I met Marcus in Michigan. He had a corporate job. He was infiltrating, working through America. Right? Guess what? He's like one of those spies. He drifted off the path. He found comedy. Quit the job. The government doesn't know where he is. But then he moved across the country 3 times. 3 times in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
What is he doing, Marcus? Waiting to get triggered, aren't you?
Definitely not pursuing a dream, right?
Oh, no, that's what you did, but the government's looking for you. You're supposed to be spying.
What were you saying, Rachel?
There are black Germans. He wouldn't
know.
Oh, yeah.
But he's not a black German. He's a white German, and he's infiltrating the black culture. Yeah, he did. That's what he did. He
Thanks for-
married the Mark. He married
don't
the Mark.
feed into
Okay,
this
that's
crazy fantasy of Marcus being a spy.
That would be so cool, though. All of a sudden, Marcus just goes away one day, and we're like, "Where'd he go?" And he's just like, "He's in Germany,
I'm
dude."
reporting back to the German government about everything.
Crazy.
I can understand though. She sees y'all talking at the booth. She hears the phone calls with your mom. She's like, I don't know what he's
No,
fucking.
I
up to."
get it. One time, so she was over at my mom's for Thanksgiving one time, and her dad called her and was like, "Happy Thanksgiving, how's it going?" She's like, "Oh, you know, just surrounded by German-speaking people." And her dad goes like, "Be like that sometimes." And she's like, "When the fuck does it be like that?" So what? But that's just dads
So
sometimes.
funny.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
You know, it's very interesting, you two, because, the culture shocks because she has to, talk to German-speaking people, and then you went down to in the middle of Detroit.
Yeah, I know.
It's wild.
No, I know that we aren't compatible on paper,
It's kind
or
of wild.
or in maybe some other ways, but
It's a very interesting couple.
Are both of your parents English-speaking Americans?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Are they
Same.
from
My
America?
dad tries to do Spanglish.
does he speak Spanish?
Just un poquito.
Like when he's ordering at a
Sí,
Tex-Mex
sí.
No,
restaurant?
like when we go to Mexico, he'll just be
Oh.
speaking to people. I'm like, they speak English. Like,
Oh my
like,
god.
Hola.
Is your
¿Cómo
dad your
estás?
dad is a lawyer or a judge?
No, my dad, he's the district attorney of Las Vegas.
But
So
is that
he-
not a lawyer?
Well, he was a lawyer.
That's
because
like
Okay.
the
he's
head
Okay.
lawyer.
He's
that you
basically
go
a
to, right?
manager of prosecutors. Like he's more of a manager role.
Okay.
And then
okay.
he
Yeah.
goes there, and then he takes like the big stuff, like the big trials, right? Because they still use him as a.
What's his-
right?
He will like he will like if there's like a big case or whatever, he'll go out and like speak.
Yeah, okay.
Do
Yeah.
a
PR type.
Recently, he got the Tupac's killer.
yeah.
How does
He
that
got
go to Las Vegas?
he got you might want to Google him because I forget his name, Kefi or whatever is
Chief
he
Keef?
was no he was Las Vegas Tupac's killer. Yeah, Las Vegas. Yeah, that's guy. That's the guy.
Davis.
But his name is his first name.
Something Davis, huh?
You have to the firewall.
Rolling Stone, get your shit together. No one paying for Rolling Stone.
Go up back up where that little drop.
I paid for
Hit
Rolling Stone.
Keefe D.
Oh, Keefe D?
Yeah, so he was, I think, the getaway driver, one of the drivers. And the reason why they started looking him up is because I think, I don't know if it was before this, but he started to go on Netflix. He was on Netflix, and I think he was interviewed and started kind of like bragging about the situation.
Oh,
And
Oh,
so
dumb,
they
dumb.
like searched him for a very long time. Like they were like, you know, looking into him for a very, very long time. And yeah, they
That's crazy. They got him.
so he drove the car?
he was accused. Let's see, I forget. Accused.
He was the guy who got paid by Diddy. It's a deep cut.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might have been in the original.
Suge Knight.
Oh, right here it says he and prosecutors say he is the only person still alive among 4 people who were in a car from
He
which
publicly
shots
described
were
himself
fired.
as the orchestrator of the shooting, but not the gunman.
Oh
Wow.
shit, he
So-
did.
Yeah,
He said it. Man,
What an
I
idiot.
planned
but
the whole
he
thing.
he was like talking about it on Netflix and in documentaries and stuff, which is like crazy. So yeah, my dad's office filed charges against him, and I don't know.
Your
if-
dad
Like
was
my
sitting there
dad's
watching
office.
Netflix one night, and he was like, "I'm gonna make a phone call."
Yeah,
This
yeah.
doesn't seem
You call
right.
your dad, you're like, hey, Dad, what's the Netflix login? I'm trying to. Oh, sorry, you had to change it because you're getting the. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
There's like an interesting new psychological phenomenon. This is like just an off the topic, but it's about like Netflix documentaries that rehash trauma and how like there's a whole like new generation of people who have to like they get told like, oh, you're gonna be on Netflix, we're gonna do your hair and makeup, and you're gonna talk about how your daughter was murdered to death in your basement, and it's like, and then it just ruins their life all over again for 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a.
Anyway, sorry
I
to bring
never
that up.
thought- I never thought of that.
I mean, this guy
But
really.
I mean,
ruined
it's
his
just like
fucking
those
life.
people that go to the news, like the news reporters. A shooting happens, someone dies. The news reporter's like, "Hey, ma'am, I know your son just died. How do you feel?"
And here's Jim with the weather.
Yeah, what the
well,
fuck?
what's really cool, in another to say something positive, is a
Hell
lot
yeah.
of these like documentaries on Netflix are like causing people to take a second look or reopen, like the Menendez brothers case, which I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with that trial and that situation. Like they're looking into, you know, maybe them getting out or
That's
like
crazy to
or
me.
like you know, like they didn't really talk about boys who were getting sexually assaulted when the crimes were happening. It was just like something that people just didn't believe happened or whatever.
Mm.
And
they have
then
like family corroborators on that now.
yeah, they
Yeah.
had that, and like apparently the dad was the responsible for like discovering Menudo, and one of the Menudo members claimed to be sexually assaulted by the dad in their house. So there's like new evidence that suggests, you know, whatever, but that's why a lot of like these like documentary, it's kind of like how like Unsolved Mysteries growing up would be like, if you have any information on this, and they would solve a lot of those crimes because people would call in and
Yeah.
Speaking
you
of
know.
the Menudo thing, did you say so? I didn't watch anything about it, but the dad was like abusive, right?
What's
Yeah,
the
like
Menudo thing?
So basically the dad was like a big Hollywood exec, and he was in music for at one point like being a executive in like the music industry, and so he was responsible for discovering new talents and acts. And I think Menudo was like big somewhere, like wherever they were big, and he was responsible for bringing them to the mainstream in
Oh.
America. So he basically signed them to like whatever record company or something.
Okay.
And so one of the members of that boy band said that he was assaulted by the dad in their house.
Whoa.
He like
Oh.
came forward.
Dude, there's so many fucking stories about just like, and it's not Hollywood specific, but the entertainment industry just like fucking
Yeah.
people. And it's not even all like fucking kids, but it's like just The
They're just
Diddy
fu-
stuff.
they're
It's
just
like,
screwing people
well,
over and
it's
fucking
just
ruining lives.
non-consensual
Yeah.
sex is so fucking crap.
It's
What are
not-
these people
It's
doing?
not exclusive to Hollywood. It's literally in every,
It's everywhere.
industry, corporate,
Right.
whatever. It's
True.
just people in positions of power abusing their
And the
power.
more people
Why-
want their
Yeah,
jobs, the
yeah.
more abuse that
Why
is
is
allowed
it that so many?
or
Why are
happens.
powerful people so weirdly horny?
Yeah.
Like not even just regular horny.
That's a good point.
Like they're like, no, I need to fucking be weird.
I think
with
the
it's
this.
thing
less.
is they're
I
also all
honestly think
married
I
usually,
think it's
too.
less about horny and more about power.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I
That's
guess
such a
they're just
strange.
out-
That,
So we
yeah.
need to put like societal checks and balances on power that is outside the government too, because these people get so fucking powerful,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, hey man, you can't be CEO forever. You
Talking about regulation?
I'm talking about fucking regulation, dude. I'm talking about
Well,
regulating
what about the government? I mean,
pedophiles.
the government up there, they got like what 90-year-olds up in government. They can't even hear or see. How are they going to do laws?
Listening to Justin describe the government
Yeah,
is a favorite pastime
that should
of
be
the
a whole
podcast.
episode.
Oh yeah,
We've done those.
Yeah.
They're fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime we try to
Justin
teach.
explains, like there should be a segment every episode about Justin trying to explain something that's like happening and
yeah.
I
If you say
could.
Chuck Schumer, he'll be like, what did Chuck do to her?
yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
Chuck?
Yeah, he doesn't know any of the names.
I don't know who Chuck Schumer is.
He's like one of those old dads who's loved the same team forever,
He's
but now he doesn't
related
know the
to-
players. Amy Schumer.
Amy
Yes.
Schumer, yes.
Isn't that
I
crazy?
knew that.
Is that real? Wait, what? What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
Amy Schumer,
Who
Chuck
fir-
Schumer?
well,
I knew
first
she
of
was
all,
a
who's
Fed,
Chuck
dude.
Schumer?
I knew she was a Fed.
Chuck Schumer?
Yeah.
Take 3 guesses who Chuck Schumer might be.
This is where it gets really fun.
He's a dad.
No.
Well, that's probably true.
Going for personal life,
But we don't
first.
know that's true.
He likes to, he likes. I've seen him.
Okay, he's a politician.
Okay, thank you.
He's a dad. I know he likes to have a
He's,
beer. Every once
he's-
in a
he's-
while.
I
He
think
seems
he's
like a
still-
pretty chill guy.
You think he's still currently Senate Majority Leader until
And this is Amy
Yeah.
Schumer's dad.
no, Amy Schumer's uncle, I believe.
Yeah.
SCH Schumer,
You had it.
How's Amy Schumer doing, by the way?
Probably rich and happy and
rich as hell.
I haven't
Didn't
seen.
she,
I think I
didn't
saw
she
her in
have
something
her
recently,
husband
but I haven't seen
diagnosed
her.
as autistic?
yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Amy Schumer did
Mhm.
that?
Yeah.
Wow. Is he
Well,
autistic?
he is autistic. Yeah.
Okay.
Because she had him diagnosed autistic.
No, probably beforehand.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Honey, I'm gonna stay home today. Why? I'm feeling a little autistic.
Because you're rich and I don't like eye
Yeah.
contact, babe.
'Cause you
I
keep dropping these specials.
Think is he a chef? I think he might be
Yeah,
a
he
chef.
is. They had a cooking show during COVID. I watched it. It was terrible.
That sucks.
You would watch it.
Sorry.
You would be like, "What's she putting?"
There was nothing else on
Yeah. We can
There's
get
some more
Jackass
stuff, yeah.
questions. What was it like? Yeah, basically, you were on Jackass. That's incredible. You're a part of the Jackass
Yes,
crew now.
I'm the diversity hire.
Yeah.
That's
That
awesome.
was
The woke jackass is what they call it because
Whack-ass.
they included
whack.
a woman and 2 black people. It's now woke. They say.
Okay.
That's awesome.
At least that's what Reddit compares
was
it
it?
to.
It's Jackass 4, right, or was it 4.5?
It's forever and 4.5 because they usually do a 0.5 like
Yeah.
with the
They got by for 20 years just being black and blue, though. That's pretty cool.
oh
Very
hilarious
funny.
Yeah.
Quality.
yeah.
Did they really call it woke because there were 3 non-white
Well, like
men on
Reddit,
it?
I'm just saying Reddit.
Jackass
Right.
is
like
the most opposite of woke I think
Well-
you can get.
Well, the thing is like if you think about it, a lot of the fans are now in their probably like 40s or
Mhm.
whatever, like our age and up. But and they're people don't like change. They don't
True.
like.
But how
seeing-
many times can these guys get kicked in the balls?
Of course,
A lot.
Of course,
Like
of course. I
Tom
mean,
Brady
yeah.
retired.
And I look
Yeah.
at it as like Grateful Dead. Like Jackass is almost like an American institution at this point, especially
Yeah.
with that move. you know?
In my opinion, the real fans like are about like accepting because they handpicked us. So you're
Mhm.
basically when you're coming after us, you're insulting the guys who handpicked all of us.
Mm.
And we all auditioned. So it wasn't like, oh, they just told us to come be a part of it. Like we had to audition.
What is a Jackass audition like?
Yeah, that's what I was
It's crazy,
wondering.
you guys. Imagine like going. It's like not your typical job interview. There's
Yeah.
there's a lot of nudity.
A lot of nudity.
Yes.
What happened? Did everybody get naked in front
Well,
of
the
you?
guys all got naked in front of me. Yeah, like that was like day one.
Oh god.
Day
And
one.
Did
then
they
the,
say,
well,
"Are
the
you
best
okay
part,
with
The
this?"
best part, because I do talk about this a little bit, but the best part is, so we shot the movie. It was like right after Me Too happened, so there was like a lot of like people coming forward specifically in the Hollywood industry talking about like the Harvey Weinsteins and like everything like that. So like every set had to basically have like sexual harassment training. That was like a real thing. So day one, I get there. There's a woman who's like basically going over like like don't take your dick out when you're not on set. Like
Yeah.
just like like, and it literally.
And then there's a guy like, What if I have to pee?
Yeah, and so it's just me and the guys, and I'm like, this is literally insane. Like,
I noticed that during the scorpion, the bit where the scorpion falls on your chest, and they all go, "We can't touch it unless you give us consent."
Yeah.
And they're all like laughing.
They're so they're all very respectful. But I did see pretty much all of their dicks, and
Now you say pretty much.
no, I did. I saw their dicks, their balls. I remember like
I was gonna say, whose dick didn't you see?
Danger Aaron, he like they did the pogo stick on his junk, and then he goes to show us like all the bruising and like it was it was vile, like it was like So
do you look at penises a different way now? I'd imagine.
okay, so I do love the penis. Don't get me wrong. And I've said, and I got some backlash on a podcast because I was saying how body parts are funny to me. Like I still think fart jokes are hilarious. Like that's my type of humor. And like I said something about how like I think the penis is funny. It's a funny body part. And so like all of these like men's rights activists came after me on Reddit and was like basically like got really upset with me for saying like the penis is funny, which
dude, if you're a men's rights activist, first of all, welcome to the podcast. Second of all, penises are funny.
Yeah, dude, I laugh at mine every day.
Penises are funny, vaginas are funny, like boobs are funny, like
what was their argument? That it was a signal of power, a symbol of strength?
I think
goofy looking thing is a symbol of.
I don't know. They were just like very upset that like they didn't like it, and so. To them, I say, I'm not sorry. Like, the penis is not funny. And
if they're so treasured, maybe we shouldn't be putting pogo sticks on
Also,
them,
you said it was a woman saying you shouldn't say it? You know?
Men's rights.
It's men's. Oh, they were men. And so I say, if you can't find the penis to be funny, don't come near me or on me.
Hey, rule number 4, be funny. That was pretty good, right? That was fucking.
You know that some of your online quotes circulate like heavy through Reddit. People mention your bits all the time.
Yeah.
Like they'll like someone will make a point and then someone will summarize that like a TLDR basically with one of your tweets or something like that. I see it nonstop.
Are they hating on me?
No, it's always really well timed and they're always very well upvoted.
Send me the link.
Yeah, I'll start sending you. But I forgot what bit, like the mental health one you just did, which was brilliant. I've already seen it twice used as a comment on like the stand-up comedy subreddit.
Yeah.
Can I hear the comment?
Go ahead if you want to.
Oh, the one that I did yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm quitting my mental health to focus on stand-up comedy.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's great. It's great. I forgot the other quote is. It's something else about being high. There's a famous quote of yours about being too stoned or something like that.
Shit, you gotta. Yeah, what
there's
is that
one that went
Should've had
viral a
this
long time
prepared.
ago. It was like, I may not be the prettiest, smartest, or skinniest girl in the room, but I'm definitely the highest. Like that one went like
That's a good
super
quote.
viral.
My understanding is you were trying to do. I heard you were trying to do memes before you found stand-up comedy.
So I started as like a memer. I was a weed memer because at the time weed wasn't like legal. So like like there was still kind of some like punk rock element to like smoking weed online and posting pictures and
used
jokes
to be
about
fucking
it.
cool.
Right. And so like I memed for like 5 years at least. And so what it taught me was how to write one-liners and jokes and like
Really?
yeah,
Because
like
you write a lot of one-liners, and I was like, okay, that.
yeah.
all right.
So I I just it really just taught me like how to write, essentially like intro into writing and writing jokes. So like for 5 years I was obsessed over memes. Like I would just write memes all day, make memes like
Wow.
so I have a memes account and it's inactive. It's called Wolfie Memes. Like I don't really
I
post
never
on it
understood
anymore.
the meme world. I still don't. I'm
Because you
always
can't read.
Dumbass, jackass.
Well, now it's solved. I guess I don't have to worry about it. No, I
Why
just,
doesn't the picture just explain everything to me? What's
No,
with
it's
the
not-
word in this
no,
black
I'm-
box?
No, I'm saying like where they come from. People just have them, and I'm like, do you post it on my?
Rachel just said she makes them.
I
She
know,
used to make people make them.
I know, but where do you post? Is what she's saying. Like, where do you post?
This doesn't make sense to you?
It does make sense.
That one doesn't. I don't get this
bottom
one.
text.
I don't get this one at all.
That doesn't make sense at all.
Deep fried dolly, absurd memes is okay.
What does that
Alright.
mean? What's bottom text?
There's bottom text.
What
okay.
the fuck does that
Jesus
mean?
fucking
Take
Christ.
hours to explain any of this. It'd be like a history lesson.
I just wanted to know where you post the memes because it's like if you make
Twitter.
a meme,
I had I had my memes were on Twitter, they were on Instagram, and a lot of the memes that I would make would end up, like you said, on like Reddit, or like they had these huge weed pages that had like millions of followers, and like it got me a lot of jobs, and because I was doing social media marketing, so a lot of these like companies would hire me or pay me to do memes, and
That's cool.
so that I got a lot of like and then that led me to working in weed. I started working at dispensaries, and like I was like, I hate to say it, a weed influencer, but that's like what I was doing right as I was starting comedy. And my thing is like I wanna be a comedian. I don't want to just be a weed comic. Like that, I was just trying to like be
You've done
a funny
cover
person.
like cover girl shoots for weed magazines, correct?
Yeah, I've been in a couple mags.
That's
The
pretty cool.
latest one I've been in is Hustler magazine.
Oh yeah,
that's
right. I saw that.
Hell yeah.
With my clothes on.
Hell yeah.
I'm in the Bush issue. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, there's
Like-
a bunch of like
oh,
it's
vaginas
like,
with
it's like
Bush?
no, I'll read it to you. It's
Or
like
Bush the
17.
president?
It's like 17
17
fluffy
things you
muffs. I
Yeah.
think it's what they call.
17
Oh,
lovely
17
like
fluffy
Bush
muffs.
Bush 17 fluffy muffs.
And
new-
Rachel Wolfson.
Yeah. And it's funny because people I think are confused, and I think they think I am naked in
They think that girl's you.
and they think this is me, the girl with the
Okay.
blonde hair.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's you know,
Crazy.
Bush month.
like
Hustler had one thought in 1981, and they're like, we don't have to do anything else ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's cuffing season and Bush season at the same time.
Jesus
the
Christ.
Bush is back in office, you guys.
That's right.
Oh God. Oh my God, dude. No.
Make sure you check the Bush before you go down.
Damn, dude. Okay, so you've been in Hustler. What was the other one you said? you were in?
I've been in like Hustler, High Times,
High Times is pretty cool.
I don't know, a bunch of the weed magazines.
What about
I
Rolling
can't
Stone? You ever heard of that magazine?
remember. Rolling
Were
Stone.
you in that?
I have heard of that magazine. I've been featured on Vice.
That's cool.
Yeah, like, you know, all the things.
What's your favorite thing that you got to do though? Like of
In
all the cool
Jackass?
shit. No, in anything you've ever like magazines, movies, anything. Like what was the coolest thing you ever got to do?
I mean, by far, Jackass is the coolest thing I feel like I've ever done. It still feels like surreal that it even happened.
Mm.
And sometimes I have to remind myself, like, oh, like I was like the first girl in like it technically that was actually a cast member.
Mm.
Yeah, by far that was like the coolest thing I feel like I've ever done.
Jackass is awesome.
Absolutely. Every time I turn my TV on, your face is there on the Amazon Prime
Oh, really?
window.
Yeah, that's
Sitting there,
hilarious.
hey,
Do you want
Rachel.
there to be more women in Jackass moving forward?
I
No,
mean,
she wants her job, dude.
No, I mean
Someone
after
secure
you,
your job,
legacy-wise,
Jackass.
I will
legacy-wise.
say what they in the last movie, if you notice, a lot of the people they casted to hurt the guys, like there was the girl who threw the softball, there was like the tennis player. They used a lot of women professionals, and like there's a lot of women who work behind the scenes on Jackass, like some of the, like in the most powerful positions, like which is if crazy to think about. If I don't know if people like think it's just like all dudes all the time. Like there's a lot of women who make
Yeah.
Jackass.
That
there
makes
needs to
sense.
be
actually.
women on
there
that
needs.
set.
I was gonna say there
Yeah.
needs to be women to keep them grounded.
Shout out to all
Yeah.
the Jackie ass
Yeah.
people out there.
Well, it's funny
Yeah.
because my mom, her name is Jackie Glass, and so they
No way.
they growing up they called her Jackass Glass. Like that was like her nick. People would like bully her and stuff. So I feel like she manifested it for me.
That's why. The one cool thing about Jackass, back when I started comedy, I performed with Preston Lacey.
Oh, he was just on my show the other night.
Oh, really?
Performed
Is he
here
in
at
town?
Sunset, yeah.
He moved here.
No way.
Yeah, and him and
Wow.
Wee Man were at the mothership last night.
Oh, that's
Wee
cool.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I performed when I was
Which
like a
one
year
is
in a
Wee
comedy.
Man
It's crazy.
again? I'm kidding. I'm making a joke. It's a fucking joke. I know he's the short guy.
I hope he kicks your ass.
Is
I
Johnny-
know he would kick my ass.
Can
They
I
all
ask-
kick my ass.
can I
They're
ask this,
jackass.
though,
I
since we're
have
talking about
no
Jackass?
balls.
Can I ask this? Is Johnny Knoxville awesome?
He's amazing.
Is
I
he-
love it.
is
He
he-
changed my life.
Is
was
he
the one-
from Knoxville?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
That's pretty
but
cool.
Yeah, but he was the one who asked me to come in for a meeting to talk about being a part of the movie
That's awesome.
and to come audition. So like I literally I love him so much. He changed my life, and I'm a Johnny Knoxville fan forever.
I love him. I love him in all of his movies too.
Yeah, he's a
very
nice
funny.
guy, and he's so funny. So
Does he do stand up or is it just Steve-O?
no, it's Steve-O, Preston, and Wee Man all do stand up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Preston's
I mean
still doing stand up.
He did it on my show the other night.
Oh, you did say that. I just registered that because that was like 9 years ago. So I just
I mean,
realized
I feel
that.
like a lot of them, what they're really good at, and what feel like the fans want is like storytelling with punchlines, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stories, it just is funny in general. So it's like, yeah, they're really good at that.
Did he do any stunts? Because he did stunt. They did like a taser and a pie in the face with something, and he got punched in the head, and they got tased. a
No,
lot.
I feel like a lot of those guys, especially like for me, I don't want to do stuff like that unless I'm getting paid for it, if that makes sense. Because it's like what
Yeah,
you know,
he was getting paid. It was on his tour, so that's why.
Yeah, like and then I've opened for Steve-O before for his like one man show, and he's so talented. Steve-O's like a really good storyteller as well, and
He crushes on podcasts and on stage.
Yeah,
I've seen him at
he's
Wolfson.
really cool.
And then I think something cool is just like, and this is just different stand-ups, but like if you have like a really distinct voice,
Yeah,
and obviously he does, sometimes that's just like, man, I just want to hear that person talk.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was this close to making a really bad first impression with Steve-O because I did a Good Evening News segment where I sang the national anthem on Whippets, and he like had just walked out the door, and someone told me, Steve-O just walked out. I was like, thank God I wasn't like
He
the
was
guy.
here?
Yeah, he came here to shoot a part of
Oh
some
yeah, yeah.
documentary.
No, I was on
you were here.
I was on it.
That was back when you
live.
were smoking weed still.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, speaking of telling stories, well, thank you so much for coming and telling us all of yours. It's really, really good to get
Of
to know you a little bit more.
course.
Yes, thank you
And
for doing the
Thanks for
podcast. It was
having me.
awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, great to
Felt
get
like
to
we
know
just hung out for an hour.
That's
That's
what
what
it's
it should
about.
feel like.
Yeah.
That's kind of with some rules.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah.
With some rules.
Thanks for listening.
Remember to
See y'all next week.
subscribe.
See you next week.